Jesus loves the little children. Now, everybody has been talking Tupac and this trial, and they done dug up all these officers. They all getting their money. All these people been talking, and now Suge talking, and people got a problem with that. Oh, buddy, here we go. Come on. Now, Suge Knight. And by the way, this is Carcino. In case you don't know, hit the like button. If I say something, everybody got something to say. When I was alive, I was around. I'm like, wow. These people just forgot about me. They was like, you had to be a baby during that time. I had to be? Damn. Dude, know all your whole life, huh? I had and must have been a baby, according to him, because this guy who don't know me said it. You must have been a baby. Now, you've heard Reggie and Mob James talk about Suge Knight constantly. But they know him. They know him more than I do. They've been around him more than me. They have been in the trenches with Suge Knight. So they would have more say to Suge Knight than me, ever. And it's rightfully so. Reggie Wright Jr. should be able to talk about Suge Knight more than myself. He should be able to talk about, Mob James should be able to talk about Suge Knight more than myself. I was never, ever close to Suge Knight like those dudes were. Period. That is neither here nor there. Does that mean everything that they say about Suge Knight is true? Does that mean everything they say about everything else surrounding Suge Knight, like Snoop, Tupac, all of these other guys are true? Now let me tell you what I know about the situation. There were a lot of instances that happened with Mob James. Now, those guys over there near Luter's Park and everything else, and we've heard Suge on the episode 1 basically said Mob was basically a Crip, and was hanging out with them. And he explained that story, right? But from what I know of him, Suge basically got those guys a rim shop. They had like a death row rim shop over in Compton. And he let those guys run the rim shop. He was trying to keep Mob away from the artists as much as possible because Mob was very violent towards the artist. Mob was not only just violent, like he snapped and put hands on, I don't know if it was DJ Quick, but I believe it was Quick. He put hands on DJ Quick. But nobody would touch Mob because Mob was very violent. Not just violent, but hothead violent at that time. Oh, this is what I've learned from real people that, that was in that area, is that Suge looked out for a lot of those guys when he really didn't have to. Now, yeah, it's a lot of situations that don't measure up. But Suge Knight wasn't having it. As things get to like the next level and keep leveling up, you start to see and feel the imminent doom that's like bestowing on people. Oh, you ain't gonna need to hear the Suge voice because you're gonna hear Suge voice. Now, when it came to Reggie Wright, when it came to being the man, when it came to all of these things that they had on the table, when it came to these different levels, now, when these levels were put before us, where we will all see and say, man, this is where we need to go. This is what we need to be talking about. Why are we talking about all these Superman stories with Tupac, and Reggie seemed to have all these Tupac stories? When Reggie was supposed to be security. You see, what Reggie did was flip the script. The same thing he tried to discredit Gene Deal with is the same thing that what people would say, well, what about you? You were security. So if Gene Deal don't know what he's talking about, then you don't know what you're talking about. Reggie has been caught lying so many times on all of his interviews. He could one time say one thing, then he would turn around and say another thing once he gets exposed for it. Then he flips it and goes the other way. Now, Gene may have something incorrect in the story that he's saying, but it don't mean his whole story is wrong. Same here with myself. If I tell a story and people go and, oh man, Cino just said that. See, I told you Cino don't know what he's talking about. Look, he just said that. That happened on a Friday, not a Wednesday. See, I told you Cino don't know what he's talking about. Not to mention everything else I said be facts. So you see that constantly happen. But Suge Knight came out and said, don't trust them. Don't trust these guys. They don't know what they talking about. Just because you was security don't mean that you was around all of the situations that you talking about. You milking it. And wasn't nobody gonna talk to you. Because a lot of people didn't like Reggie when he was there. Even when they were saying he's cool. No, man. He was like, nah, dude, the police. And I'm talking about real Pyrus. Real Pyrus felt that way. When they was coming around and seeing you, it was like, dude, I saw this dude when I was in the county. He was trying to hook me up with snacks. Like, I got you, man. Yeah, you from I got you. You know, trying to be cool. And he was like, dude was cool when I was locked up. But I get out of jail and he working for the road. I can't come in and work with this cop. They was, nah, man, he cool. He cool. These were some of the guys and how they felt. So a lot of them weren't going to talk around you. Period. Suge does tell some tales. But he might have his reasons for saying it like that. But it don't mean that everything he's saying is a lie. But let's hear what he had to say about Reggie.
Yeah, because, you know, at the same time, it's just like this. If a person was my custodian in my building, he can't talk about how we made a record in the studio, right?
Right.
He can't talk about how I promoted Pac the album or I came with the name All Eyes on Me. He just tell you about how he cleaned the floors.
Right.
So if a person do security, motherfucker do security.
Right.
You went in, every person, like Pac was an arrogant motherfucker.
Right.
Pac didn't fuck with everybody. If you was to help, he gonna speak to you, but he not gonna have a conversation with you.
Right.
So these people who have a Tupac story, they want to talk about stories that really didn't happen. Or you got people who got death row chains now who didn't have death row chains, you know, at the beginning.
Right.
Or you got people who say, you like I said, I'm not going to give these other dudes energy, but motherfuckers be like, oh, Pac was a buster. Well, Pac put you in your pockets.
Right.
And people are like, no, he didn't. Call the chips. How would you have did that? You know?
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
To the fact that everybody want to be so tough, and I'm not proud of my arrest records, you know? But you pull with all things I ever got in trouble for arrested. I wasn't a drug dealer, but I was getting in trouble.
Right.
And I'm quite sure to whoop some ass and doing some shit I probably should have been doing aggressively, but somebody else is doing something to my people or trying to do something to me. You got some motherfuckers probably went to jail once for a burglary, stealing, or got caught with some crack in their pocket. Those ain't things to be proud of. Coming to prison is never nothing to be proud of. But I think more importantly is that anything I can do to make anything better out there, I'm willing to do. So when I gave those single Mother Day dinner for all the single mothers and had a different orders up there, I did that. And you know, it's people I gave meetings about shit. Deion Sanders.
Yep.
When Prime wanted to be a rapper, he said, I want to be a rapper. He had an agent named Gene, was a great dude, rest in peace, Gene. I spent over $500,000 of my own money. I put guys in the studio, I paid Dallas Austin, I did all these songs, did everything.
Wow.
Then one day he came to me and said, well, you know, Prime deal with Nike, and Death Row is a black-owned company. And we don't want to really deal with a black-owned company, even though you paid for everything and you signed, we signed to you, put us on the Interscope label.
Wow.
Brand. So I go to Jimmy and say, look, I paid for everything. The contract's with me, but could you put him out on Interscope? They're like, oh yeah, I do that for you, anything for you, Mr. Knight. And so if I'm at Prime or performing somewhere, I'm taking a private plane to make sure everything's good. But not one day did anybody give me $1 back.
Wow. That's
Not
crazy.
one
So
time. So, you know,
Deion said,
Man. Well, they thought because Suge was locked up, he wouldn't be able to talk. Now, here's something that Reggie said that is absolutely true. Suge Knight was trying to get this about almost like during the pandemic time. Reggie had a deal on the table coming in there about doing a podcast show. And all these dudes, man, they come for these dudes because they was there. They know, oh man, we could do a whole podcast show and get this money. Reggie was right. Suge was in. Like, let's do this podcast show. But they couldn't get the money right. So because they couldn't get the money right in the deal, plus other people got scared and pulled out. And the reason they pulled out is because they had certain relationships with other people who didn't want to work with them if they was going to work with Suge Knight. Let me rephrase that so that you guys would know who I'm talking about. Meaning Jimmy Iovine, Interscope. Okay? People in the music industry did not want to okay this company working with Suge Knight because they were going to lose all the other relationships they have in this business if they were to do that. It was straight like that. Suge writing a book as well? He might as well. I mean, everybody else getting paid, and they wasn't as close to anything as Suge was. That's one thing you can't take from him. You might not have to believe everything he say, but hell, y'all believe Reggie. And this dude has been proven to tell a whole bunch of lies. Dude said Tupac ain't never fired me. I was never his main security, so how could he fire me? Tupac ain't fired me. Then next thing you know, Yaz put up the facts showing that Tupac had fired him through a fax. Because Pac didn't talk to him. He didn't like Reggie. So then he come talking about this story now with him and Suge, man. He's like, hey, I took the security off of him. He's going to fire me. Which one is it? You see what I'm saying? He told so many different lies that Del Rey, shout out to him. Del Rey definitely exposed a lot of the lies that Reggie tells. I don't have time to sit around and listen to Reggie talk all day. But I knew I didn't want to deal with Reggie because, in my opinion, he was a crooked cop. His father, crooked cop. I don't like crooked cops. They're the worst kind because a crooked cop has no morals. They have no code, no honor. They don't respect nada. He's a ruthless vato, man. They don't respect nada. They don't respect anything. Hell, you could respect a drug dealer before you respect them. They have no code of honor, no respect in this game. Now, you heard what he just said about Reggie now. All you could tell, if you was my custodian, all you could tell me about was cleaning, how you cleaned the floors. If you was security, all you gonna be able to tell me about is security. Pac didn't talk to a lot of y'all. He didn't like a lot of them, which is true. Right. When my numbers were larger on my platform, Reggie used to shout my name out all the time. If I'm having a big week, my numbers is high, here come Reggie saying my name. And it was like, well, why would Reggie Wright say your name if you didn't matter? Because he see views, he see clicks. He know, man, if I get this good guy talking about me, then we can have some back and forth. I was watching his live stream with John on Bomb First, and I'm like, okay. They do a live, and they was having people call in. Now, the whole time somebody asked him about me, and he started going off, and then people was like, yo, man, that ain't true. Dude be telling the truth about this and this and that and this. How dare you say that? Oh, no, I know he was lying about something. Then I come in, they tagged me in it because I was in my own live. I stopped my live. I go over there to hear what's going on. And I hear this dude talking about how I'm lying. Like, I know he lying and this and this and that. So I'm like, this me. And he was like, oh, we got Carcino in the chat. Oh, hey, man. No, I ain't say you was lying. I'm like, you just said it like 36 seconds ago. I've been sitting here, listen, I'm watching you just say it. Tell me and tell the world, what was I lying about? He never stated. I'm going to tell you, call me and I will tell you on the phone. I'm going to tell you in private what you was lying about. I said, no, tell the whole world. We right here. If you said I was lying, that means I already said it live. So you might as well just tell the world. Why you want to have a backstage conversation about what it was? Tell the whole world. You remember that, right? That was on y'all channel. And you bombed first. And you was like, call me. I'm like, I'm not calling you. I'm not calling a crooked cop. I don't need to have a conversation with you besides what's happening right here in this chat. You're going to read what I'm typing in this chat. That's it. That's the extent of any conversation I want to have with you. No, call up, man. We'd love to hear about those stories. Man, I just said you weren't there doing the death row days. I said, I never said I was there. Until you find me a time when I said I was standing right there when Snoop Dogg said this to him. No. And neither were a lot of you. But you knew what happened. Now ask Reggie, am I lying about that whole interaction that happened? It happened just like that. I said, no, I was around Suge. You weren't around. Cat Williams was there. Suge was there. I was there. I used to see Suge all the time in all the fights. And Suge was trying to get close to Floyd at the time. We was all right there. You weren't there. There was no Reggie. There was no Whack 100 either. So I don't know what he talking about. You know what I'm saying? So Queen, you right. Yes, hit the like button, good people. I know y'all just got here. The super chat button works. Do hit the super thanks up. Yeah, the snow started to come down last night. On Halloween day, it started to drop. Oh, me and Choke, that was even a crazier situation. I'm giving this guy props, right? Because I'm saying, dog, I've seen your DVDs. I've always given that man props because he was the guy that he's trying to say, man, you never saw me. No, ain't no way. No, we never talked, son. I never went to the boxing fight. I said, bro, I never said you were at the boxing fight. I said, I went to the boxing fight. I have photos of this fight. I cover fights for a living. It was in New York. I was with my boy. We went to a party, an after party, where you were with your camera, taking pictures. You had other people there. There was a white girl, white lady. She was taking photos of people going in. It was like a who's who. And it was a Kodo fight. And I was like, I forgot who he was fighting, but we was in New York. And we came in there and I was like, I recognized you. I was like, oh, that's the dude who made those DVDs. Back then, I think I had the VHS tapes of the tunnel. All those interviews from the tunnel, the people in there. So I had those. So I used to give him credit for that. See, I know him before the Rockefeller days. That was everybody knew Joe, no Joe. Cause you ain't gonna forget no name like, yo, this is Joe, no Joe. You can't forget that name. So here in the Midwest, we had the term cassettes and DVDs. I'm giving him credit for it. But because he interviewed somebody who feel a certain way about me, or he cool with somebody that got a feelings towards me, now he want to take that position to align themselves with them when they mad at me for just getting views. So that's how weak he was. I knew what it was about. He had no problem with me whatsoever. So when me and him spoke, me and him was back cool. Then then he thought like I had said something wrong, and then he was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, we good, man." He talked about we was all good in the DM of Instagram. Then he goes on IG Live and started dissing me on IG Live after he just said, "Oh man, I thought you was saying like you knew me and all that, like we knew each other, and you was like dissing me." I'm like, "No, man, what the hell I be dissing you for?" "Oh, okay, we all good then." I'm like, "Yeah, ain't no problems." Then he go on live and just start dissing. I said, "Okay, I see what this is. Yeah, you phony as hell. So yeah, I can't deal with you." And that's how it was. So it was like, you do you, I do me. That's how the choke situation went. Then he was back cool again, trying to be back cool. It's like, "Come on, man, we're going to just stop this." I was like, "All right, dog, we're going to stop this. Let's just stop going back and forth. Because right now, I don't trust you. I don't like you. I don't deal with dudes who do that. Like, if you did that to me once, ain't no need for it to be twice." You out of there. You up out of there. I like Choke too, but Choke get in his own way. And then I'm like, he complains and get mad at everybody else for him not doing his due diligence.
Originally. Somebody got
My
that famous
message is that
Suge story, and now they get to hear from Suge directly.
Yeah, because at the same time, it's just like this. If a person was my custodian in my building, he can't talk about how we made a record in the studio, right?
Right.
He can't talk about how I promoted Pac's album or I came with the name All Eyes on Me. He just tell you about how he cleaned the floors.
Right.
So, Reggie, you could only tell us how you was a security guard. That's it. Tell us about security, because that was your job.
So if a person do security, motherfucker do security.
Right.
You wouldn't every person, like Pac was an arrogant motherfucker.
Right.
Pac didn't fuck with everybody. If you was to help, he gonna speak to you, but he not gonna have a conversation with you.
Right.
Yep. Pac wasn't gonna have a conversation with you. Exactly what he just said. Most people feel that way. No, I never felt like that. No, so it didn't even matter. You was security, dog. Talk about being a security guard.
These people who have a Tupac story, they want to talk about stories that really didn't happen. Or you got people who got death row chains now who didn't have death row chains, at the beginning.
Right.
Or you got people who say, like I said, I'm not going to give these other dudes energy, but motherfuckers be like, oh, Pac is a buster. Well, Pac put you in your pockets.
Right.
And people like, no, he didn't. All the kids, Howard Tudor did that.
How you would have did that? No, me and Big Suge never had a problem, but we weren't business partners. I told you, we kept running into each other. He was aware of me. Hey, it's a little boxing guy, and my little boxing guy over there. Like, that's it. That's all he knew me for, is that he knew I was close to Floyd. So I was given respect based off of that. Nothing like it because of anything I did or nothing like that. I don't have to come in here and fantasize like, yeah, Suge gave me respect. Yeah, because of me. He knew. Please. That photo we got together, I'm like, that photo was only taken because somebody else was on the other side, some groupie fan who wanted to get him a photograph. Other than that, I wouldn't have been in a photograph with Suge. I'm not photo happy like that with people unless they comfortable with doing that. But they was thinking I was an artist on the road and he was liking that. Like, oh, this must be Suge artist. Like, they got us like we dressing alike. Almost. Like, I got on yellow, he got on blue. And then it's this fan guy over there. And Suge was signing autographs. And I'm holding a pen, an ink pen in my hand. I don't know, you guys probably can't see it in here. But I'm holding an ink pen in my hand. Nah, you can't really see it here. But I'm holding an ink pen in my hand. Okay, you can see the end of it right there. There's an ink pen in my hand. Because this guy right here that's cut off, this fanboy wanted Suge to sign an autograph for him. So that's why I'm holding the pen, and somebody else was like, yo, let me get a picture of y'all. And this is how the picture came to be. Other than that, yeah, I put on the stonewall face, no smiling. I'm like, Suge ain't smiling, I ain't smiling. But yeah, that's how the picture came to be. This was after the fight. Now, did I ever say me and Suge are the best of friends? No. But Cino was at every fight. So he sees me with the Watson twins and Sam Watson. And we walking into the press conference. We got passes around our necks to get in, all access, boxing passes. VIP, that's me. Suge didn't have a pass to go back there. So if he tried to go back there, they would stop him. So he didn't even attempt. He just go by the door and starts seeing the fans and all that and taking pictures with the fans. But he saw I had access. So he was like cool with me. He was trying to get into the boxing business at that time, or basically lean on somebody. Yeah, the super chat work. Just you can hit the super chat button. Appreciate that. Or if you want to use Cash App, my Cash App is Carceno, Karceno. We appreciate that. Because Suge knew they wasn't telling the whole truth. It's a lot of stories they ain't telling the whole truth about. Like Buntry, like most of the people in the world don't know Buntry, rest in peace to him, that wasn't his name. They just called him Buntry. His name was Country. Everybody, but because of the blood thing, they called him Buntry. But Country is his nickname. He got Country tattooed on him. Well, he had tattooed on him Country. So when they say Buntry, the only people that ever called him that was them, the mob. So if you knew him outside of the world or outside the mob, mostly everybody called him Country. Like before they start saying Bompton. Now, if you didn't know any better, you would just say, oh, Bompton. I know that place. Oh, where they from? You would think it is a real place. Why they flying a chopper over my house? That's close as hell. It's shaking my damn. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? That thing was shaking the house. I want to see the damn chopper. And why is it over my house? Man, this is turning into damn Goodfellas. See that chopper? It's been following me all day. Getting the hell out of this house. That just confirmed it. I got to get up out of here. They got choppers flying over the crib. God damn, Reggie done already reported me. The only time I seen that, and they was really coming to my boy crib, is when he decided as an experiment, I wonder what happened if I, started growing weed out my house. He rich, he white. He just said, this would be a cool hobby. This dude was learning everything and had a whole grow farm. His mama's a lawyer. Mama was a lawyer. Well, I don't know about right now, but at that time, she was a known lawyer. And she would just be like acting oblivious to not knowing what her son was doing. I'm like, it was really weird. They cared about the other child, the other boy. He would always be with the parents. But him, he was just free to reign and do whatever the hell he wanted. He had a party in the basement. He basically lived down there and had like the whole town. It'd be like 3-4 people would come through the front door. And through the window of the basement, everybody's coming sliding in through the window. So it was like half the town in the basement. And they just let 3-4 people in. She's like, he's got a couple of friends down there. Couple of friends. It's about like 50 people down there. It's packed. There's parties. They got a keg. I was like, this dude was a teenage boy getting kegs of beer. Then he goes ahead and decided he wanted to start a grow farm. They started running helicopters over the house because the energy bill had shot up dramatically. And he didn't know anything. And that's how he learned. He's like, you would think he said, okay, man, I had to stop, man. The cops came kicking in the door and all that, and they took all the plants. And he was sad they just took the plants. He didn't go to jail or nothing. They ain't even bring him to the station. They just took the plants. Imagine if he was black, how that would have went. If he was black, how that would have went. If he was black, how you think that would have went? Right? If he was black, that wouldn't have went that way, bro. Can you imagine they come kicking in a black guy door, they find weed, pounds of weed and all this stuff in there. They just take the weed and be like, okay, all right, this whole operation is over. You do this again, we locking you up. That dude be, oh, thanks. And then his mom, who's a lawyer, she used her connections, you know. He said the feds came at me once. I cooperated. They left me alone. See, that's the thing, man. People don't realize is that if you haven't done nothing, then you don't got nothing. You have nothing to really to say. If you have nothing to do, but if you in concert, you know what I'm saying? Like the time I had gotten in trouble, you know, the gun wasn't mine. But the gun was in my car for my benefit. So I'm not going to tell you who gun it is. If I'd have just said one name, I'd have been at home. They'd have picked him up and started charging him with the gun. And I'd have been at home. If that's what I wanted to do. But no. You don't do that. Now, why on earth would you ever consider doing that? Because once you start telling for your benefit, oh, buddy, when you know it's because of you, really, that this whole situation even happened, not really them. They was basically looking out for you. So that's a different situation. You got to take that weight, and you just got to go to court and trial or do whatever. But I can't drag nobody down with this. I gotta swallow it. So I went to trial by myself. When I was in trial, did any of those dudes come to my court trial? No. Who was in the court trial for me? Me. I didn't want nobody there. I said, through this trial, I don't want nobody here. Except for my probable cause hearing, I got a ride up there. My grandfather took me there. Other than that, that was it. And I told him, I'm like, I don't need you to take me to court. No, I don't want y'all to up in there. I got myself into this. I'm going to get myself out. But see, you got these so-called gangster rappers who are nothing but, you know, industry plants like 6ix9ine and all these other people they stick in there and make stars out of. These people, they want to portray the gangster life and they want to be associated with it because it makes them tough because of you taking credit for what somebody else then did. You trying to build yourself up off the strength of the next man. A real Negro ain't have to do crime to be that. You know what I'm saying? A real Negro ain't got to go ahead and prove I'm a real Negro. No, the real Negro can go to work every day, take care of his family, stay on his son, make sure his family doing what they supposed to do. They ain't doing crime. They hitting the books. They going to school every day. You handle the business at home. That's a real dude. You know what I'm saying? That's real. Y'all respect going around, oh man, he got a body. Yeah, he killed people. Yeah, he real, man. That's real gangster. That ain't how gangsters operate. That never what gangsters was about. Y'all made that gangster. Just killing people for no reason. That ain't nothing gangster about that. That's not how gangsters move. Gangsters was smart. They was businessmen. They were soldiers. That's how real gangsters moved. Those were punks. People just going around shooting, killing people, thinking they trying to get a rep. They trying to fill a void for approval. Taking people's life and stuff for no reason. Innocent people, kids and women getting hit. Ain't nothing cool about that. And because y'all made it cool and y'all honoring the people who do that for no reason and think that's a really cool way to go out. Not even. Um, Here's the problem that a lot of people are going through in society. Let's talk about that. We're talking about a situation in which there are a lot of people who have this identity crisis where they become the character they create. Like some of these people get on this social media thing and they can't be themselves. They create a persona to make them who bigger than what they really are. You know, Reggie and whatever illegal thing he got caught for, um, where he got busted doing the thing he was doing. Thanks for the super chat, Chuck M. Appreciate you. All the stuff he was doing, you know, what Reggie Wright problem was, him and his daddy went down because he was a daddy's boy. I'm telling you, nobody remembers him at a Luther Park picnic. I did my homework, dog. You know, if I'm saying it, it's because it happened. I went back on you, Reggie, to grammar school when you was picking crumbs and stuff out your fat little navel. They used to call you Wedgie Wright, because they used to pull your pants up and give you a wedgie up in school. And your daddy was a cop and he had to come up to the school up there in Compton. You're like, my daddy a cop. He gonna put you in jail. Your own daddy used to say you was a fanboy. That's why he said, man, they didn't want to hire you. Suge was gonna hire your daddy to be security because he used to do work for him. He was like, look, you should be security full time. He was like, I don't want that. He was like, man, hire my son Reggie. You know, he a fan of y'all anyway. He a fan of all y'all. He got y'all posters on the wall. You got the Chronic posters on your wall coming up in there. So you was a fanboy. That was it. Other guys said they remember you up in county. That was it. Like correctional officer type work. You never was like doing any real field stuff. But now because you was around death row, you felt okay, you a gangster now. So it's just can't honor people like that. I just stay away from them because that's all you do. Crooked cops, you just stay away from them. They got no code, no honor. They took a pledge, of oath, and they violated it. And then his whole claim is, I didn't do anything until I wasn't a cop no more. I was already not a cop no more, so I wasn't a crooked cop. I was just, no, you was. You just never probably got busted for it until you got through. You always was crooked. You just never got busted for it. Now, your charges was taking evidence, you and your father, right? Allegedly, or it's already proven in the police report. I'm just not finna go through it. Of taking evidence, drugs
Call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
from drug busts, the whole nine, right? Well, if you enjoy it, that's you. Nobody tells you not to enjoy what he's saying. If you enjoy what Reggie is saying, then so be it. So be it. Like, I don't have a problem with John from Bomb First. I don't have no problem with him. He doing what he's supposed to be doing. See, I'm not a hater. I don't get in other people's way. I'm not here saying, man, I got to go through them to get mine. I don't got to do that. It's not what I do. If you like them, you like them. I don't care. I'm not here to make you not like them. I'm just here telling you the truth as I know it. So that is that. So yeah, I'm not one here saying I don't want to hear Suge talk. Oh, Suge just gonna tell a lot of lies. Oh, Suge ain't gonna say. Why would y'all be upset about what Suge about to say? Because it's gonna make y'all look ridiculous. Some of the stories y'all telling. Now, y'all can check and fact check and see if I don't know what I'm talking about from what the information I gathered and what was told to me about Mob and that rim shop. Suge didn't want him around because he was too hothead, too just violent type. So he said, you know what? He got them the ram shop and Mob them, put them in charge over there to keep him away from the artists. He ain't want Mob around there. Now, Suge said, and you can have that guy speak on it. Suge said Tupac did more than any of you for his community. Let that be known. He said Pac did more in the community than all y'all dudes put together. Now, we do know Pac was over there doing charity events, money, whatever was going on. Pac was over there doing that. Now, we have that documented. And we are one of the people that 100% believe, and Mob even admitted it himself, he did not like the fact that they blessed Tupac in to be MOB. Mob Piru, he did not like that. Now, what they do take away from Suge and don't give Suge any credit for is the fact they keep talking about he never wore a red rag. He never was on the block. He wasn't. You guys were the mob. But don't say when he was in college. Hey, when he was in college, he still was doing some things now. Come on now. Don't, we ain't gonna do that here. He was still actively doing some things when he was at college. When he was in high school, he was doing some things. Now, he wasn't on the block because his parents weren't about that. He's actually smart. That's one thing a lot of you guys are very dismissive about when it comes to Suge, like he's ignorant. Oh, he just scared people into giving him stuff. Not really. He's actually smart. He knew about the masters. He knew how to move the numbers to where they needed to be. He was really smart at that. It's just that when he started letting the street activity and the street way of living, he couldn't let go of the one. He kept trying to hold on to that life and the CEO life at the same time. And in this business, you gotta have the relationships. And when they not seeing you as economically valuable anymore and they don't need you anymore, they are gonna ostracize themselves from you. See, they needed him. So they had to endure and put up with it. But now it's like, well, we really don't need you and we didn't really like you. You was mean to everybody. So why in the world should we be around you? You let too much stuff happen that shouldn't have happened because of recklessness. And it was too much of the gangster mentality, the gang mentality that was just not suited for record artists or recording artists. Okay? That was not acceptable by no standards. No, he couldn't do both. And he kept holding on to both worlds. But nobody, I think, no CEO of any record company, Russell Simmons, Jay-Z, Dame Dash, all these, none of these guys, not one, not even record label executives have spent the amount of money Suge Knight have on guys who brought nothing to the damn company whatsoever. I can see if you're trying to protect your artist. But these people ain't even artists. And he was paying their rent, buying them cars, putting kids and stuff through baseball programs. All of these things he was doing for these families. And they weren't bringing nothing of revenue back to the company. Nothing. Now Reggie, Keefy D was out there and Keefy D had the gun. Keefy D wasn't even out there that time at the Soul Train Awards. And he talking about he was about to shoot him. C Gutter came out and said it was him. No, I know Keefy was there though. Keefy was with y'all. Keefy wasn't even out there when that happened. Keefy and those guys had bought tickets. They was in the building and they were in the place, but they weren't there. Now, factually, we know that Reggie had a relationship not only with the Bloods, because he was working with Death Row, but with the Compton Crips as well. He knew Keefe D. They allegedly done business together. I'm not saying Suge is the greatest man of all time. And the greatest man ever. No, don't get that twisted. I'm just saying, they act like the man can't say nothing or shouldn't have his word out unless they getting some money. Now, the only time Reggie was put in place or in power is when Suge went to jail. Reggie was put in charge. He was the face of the company because nobody else was going to respect Miss Chalet running things as a woman. So he put Reggie in charge because Reggie was the minion to get things done that he needed to get done. He'd tell somebody to get it to Reggie and tell Reggie what to do. That was the extent, Reggie. You thought like, I run Death Row. Nobody listening to you, Reggie. Pac was already gone when you was put in charge. Suge is locked up. You were put in charge to hold it down till he got back. You lost a bunch of money under your watch. Since you want to take credit for like, yeah, I was CEO. I was running Death Row. Yeah, I did this. I did that. What did you do? You cost them money. Do you want to do that? You lost them money. Talk about your time running the company, as you said, it was all you. As if Big Suge was not giving you instructions on what to do. So if that's the case, then we want to believe Reggie. Then you made all those moves, then you brought the company down. How about that? Why are you listening to Jason Shitlock? For anything. If that dude was in front of Suge Knight right now, he'd doodle on himself. Stop. That dude's a hack. I stay in the house. Damn, you just saw me out the house yesterday. Y'all saw my godson drumming. He was getting off. I gotta get my ex out of here. She's got to come out of this picture. I gotta take her out of this frame. She gotta go. Yeah, she gotta go. She's been that way too long. I just like, it's on the wall now, so I'm gonna get it down in a minute. She gotta go. She's too crazy. She was crazier than Suge. She's like medically diagnosed as crazy. That's what I told you. You gotta, when you date these women, you've got to know one or two things about them. They medical background, all about them. You got to know if they've been in the nut house before. Seriously, it be these real fine ones that's mentally gone. And they mama know and everybody else know you don't know nothing yet. Until you dealing with the psycho in front of you. And you going, what the hell is going on? Yeah, I guess I gotta let her go. Just like another love taking home. Oh, oh, oh. No, but she's been gone. Like, that was some years ago. But she's still on the wall. And I got to get her out of there because I get tired of girls walking up here looking at the pictures going, oh, who is that? I'll be, my cousin. She got to go. Like, yeah, I got to get her out of there. Girls love photos. They be like, they come here and get glued to the wall. They be making themselves way up the steps to go to the bedroom. They gonna be looking, reading the wall, going up. Oh, I'll tell you a story involving me. It was a date night, first date. This is the first date of this bad chick. Whew. Whew. Man, she used to be in my chat. I think she's her audio is on one of the videos. Like, I think for some reason back then when they first started live stream, I could have a phone call and it'll still be recorded while I'm live streaming. Now you can't do that for some reason. I don't know why. But I could be like right now, take a call, and that call would be on the live. And so we was sitting there talking and chatting, and all through the live stream, she's on it. She was cool as hell. And no, you don't, Lee. And, and the thing is, she was cool as hell. But when we first went out on a date, it was funny because I had forgot. Because I always have a day where I detox. You know, so I started taking green tea. I started trying to get all these toxins out my body. So I took some green tea. I took a morning laxative. Took the chocolate lax. I'm like, yeah, I'm finna clean my system out. Get ready. Boom, 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 boom. Then I forget it's date night. I'm like, oh, okay, boom. So I went there, did a number 2, did my business. I'm like, all right, I'm cleaned out. I'm ready to go. Boom, boom, take a shower, get ready. We going out to the date. We doing the dinner and the movie thing, getting to know each other. Everything's going wonderful. But what she don't know, what's going on with me. She don't know what's going on with me. I'm sitting there. My stomach is like this. All of a sudden, we sitting there. I'm eating the food, dinner, and the movie. And when I went to the bathroom, I thought that was it. Oh, that was just me going to the bathroom. That had nothing to do with all the detoxing stuff I done did earlier. No, that's finna kick in right now. It was like a thunderbolt, like. And that's what I remember. Oh, snap, that's right. I took all that stuff today. Oh, it is kicking him right now. And I'm trying to like hold it. And then like my forehead finna start sweating. I'm legs shaking. Yeah, I'll be right back. Hold that thought. I get up in the bathroom. I'm in the bathroom like, boom. Oh. So I had to make up a story. I was gone for a while. So when I come back, she was like, I'm like, yeah, I had to take a call. It was a business call. Oh, woo! All right, let's go. So the movie was Get Out. We watching Get Out. We going there and the movie, this movie is something else. It's creepy as hell. I'm like, yeah, it is. I'd already seen the movie. She didn't know that, but she think this is my first time seeing it. So we seeing Get Out and she, woo. We sitting there, the whole movie, then my stomach, I'm talking to her and it goes, boom. I'm like, again? All right, I gotta go back. I gotta go pee. I had to run back in there, go back to the thing, and somebody got the stalls. Both of them is all blocked at the movie theater. Damn. Now I gotta find the other one. Now I gotta go all the way around. They got the other one to the other side of the movie theater to find the other bathroom. Jesus Christ. I was in there for about another 10, 15 minutes. I come back. Yeah, I had another call come in on my way back. And she thought this was a great first date. She never knew all that stuff was going down. Yeah, it was a funny date. I'll never forget it. So if you detox, make sure you got nothing going on that day. You staying in one spot. Do not come out the house for nothing. Stay ready. Stay ready. Get all that out your system. Yeah, I was disappointed that it didn't work out with her. She was the one that went to Houston, came back different. She took a trip to Houston, came back. Like, that was weird. You've been acting real different. And I drove her home so fast out of anger, and I knew I was never going to see her again. After I calmed down, I'm like, oh, God, I got to see her again. Maybe I'll give her a second chance. Whew, just Lord. That one, boy. She deserved a couple of chances. Oh, she was bad, boy. She was something else. I ain't gonna kid you. I ain't gonna tell that lie. But I wasn't finna get myself caught in situations that wasn't gonna be beneficial to me. Meaning that I don't, just because people from Chicago don't mean they right around you. You know, like everybody around you is on the same level as you. You know, people from different areas, you know, you just can't go and deal with people you don't know. You know what I'm saying? That ain't cool for you to just be dealing with people you don't know. You ain't from that town. Don't vouch for these people. So if you ain't gonna vouch for these people, there's no need to. You know what I'm saying?
About this, where you're the most infamous person in hip hop ever, and we would, as we working on the helping Suge with the memoir, we was calling it villain, because you have been like almost like the boogeyman of hip hop. Everybody got a Suge story. Everybody's scared of Suge, and now that you get to set the record straight,
everything, you know. It's
You're a
but at the
protector.
same
You've
time,
always
you know,
been that. You've always been somebody who
I
protects the
always
community,
be.
protects
Hey,
the
before we
artists.
get out of here, hey, bro, before we get out of here, Nick Cannon for president.
Big Suge, baby. Yeah, see, Nick Cannon has a relationship with Suge that don't consist of me. I know Nick Cannon through his career when he was coming up, but I haven't seen Nick Cannon in about 15 years. You know what I'm saying? And even when he came up here to do I wouldn't say, was it 15? It wasn't 15 the last time. Well, maybe it's been. That was 2011. I would say 2011 I saw him. That was the last time I seen Nick. Yeah, he's back to being Suge now. He get to talk. He got some activity. It's better than him being just thrown away in a cage and can't nobody hear from him. Now they got to be careful with how they doing it, because again, most inmates ain't allowed to make money outside. Like it's a lot of red tape around that. Why do I'm not gonna interview Mob James. Why the hell would I interview Mob James? One, I'm not finna pay Mob James for nothing. I don't need to interview Mob James. What would I need to interview Mob James for? I don't want to look. There's documented paperwork out there. The guy who allegedly he told on is out of jail. He told his story. You know what I'm saying? So Mob got to deal with that situation. He got to deal with those allegations. And it's already, most of these people that's talking, they done got some type of plea deals, and I don't trust those dudes that took plea deals and working with the feds. I can't, it's hard for me to trust those people. You know what I'm saying? They cooperating, they talking all this gangster stuff, but they didn't cooperate. And anything Keaton said is, I don't trust nothing that come out of his mouth. Now you keep talking about, we got him to sign this proffer agreement, but you gonna violate this man's proffer agreement by putting it in a book, in a movie that you got the rights to, so you can get money off Tupac. Now, see, Greg King is somebody I can't stand. To me, another, in my opinion, a crooked, dirty cop. Somebody that Russell Poole didn't like. In my opinion, he was. Because of his ways and actions and the way he moved now. I don't care about, I'm not telling you no embarrassing story about a date. I'm just saying, like, I tell people the truth. I don't make myself sound like the superstar. I got a whole playlist called what? Hood Stories. And all them hood stories that I'm in, do you hear me whooping everybody's ass in those stories? 9 times out of 10, I'm getting the hell out of there. We was running away. I'm like, we getting the hell out of here. We ain't finna deal. Because see, I know the end results in a lot of those stories. I told you, I only had like maybe 3-4 fights my entire life. Because to me, to fight me, it really have to come to both parties having no choice. But if I do fight, I ain't gonna lose. I ain't never lost. I'm gonna tell you that now. I ain't never took an L. Now, if the fight happened, nobody beat me, and y'all pay your money, you find the person that actually said beat me. Go get him. Who beat me up? I'm like, go find him. Not saying I can't be beat up by somebody. You know, I'm quite sure if me and Suge Knight was in there swinging and fighting, I'm gonna go out swinging, but chances are he would probably beat the living hell out of me. But the thing is, there's so many people in the world that could probably beat you. But I was always prepared for a fight. Most of these dudes were drunk, they was high. I was strong, super strong in like that time and era. So wasn't nobody really. I was good at wrestling. I could box. I was fast, athletic, strong. It's deadly combination. I didn't drink. I didn't smoke. Didn't do any drugs. So you would have a shot in hell. Believe me, you didn't have a shot in hell. But I chose not to fight because the fight always leads to fight 2, part 3, part 4, part 5. In our neighborhood, it was going to be, it's a matter of embarrassment. So they going to have to come back. Or they homeboy, like, I got him next time. I'm going to take him. When we fight, y'all, you sit back, I'm going to fight. Then you got to fight his homeboy. Then you got to fight them. Then his crew, if they do get the better of you, now your crew got to come in too and be like, oh man, y'all tried to double team my boy. So now, you know, that was looked at as a punk move when you jump somebody. You know, that was disrespectful. Tupac wasn't a fighter, but he would fight you. He couldn't fight. You know, he wasn't good at fighting. He was strong though and could get you down. I know that from people who know him. So you're gonna be like, how you know that? Because I know from people that know him. Said, no, dude couldn't fight, but he will fight you. He had no problem with fighting. But Pac mostly jumped people. You know, that's what he normally was. His fighting was always jumping somebody. Like if somebody else fighting, his boys fighting, he jumping in. So he never really had like the one-on-ones. His fight was always 8 guys jumping on one. That was it. No, well, he didn't know how to punch. He didn't take boxing lessons, so he fought like a dude on the streets. You know, he just swing. You know what I'm saying? Wide swings. And that's why a lot of y'all was like, Pac would have whooped Biggie. I'm like, come on. No, stop. Biggie was about Suge size and was not slow like you thought. Y'all thinking of Biggie when he got a broke leg and all that, when he was on the cane and all that and all that. And that was he had gained weight. But Big used to be big but fast. He could move around. He was quick. He was not a slow moving big dude. And dude was strong. Yeah, they used to slap box. Biggie and Tupac used to slap box. And he was amazed how fast Big was to be that big. And Big be tagging him. Stop, 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 stop. He was, damn, big boy got hands. Then Pac turned that to try to wrestle with Big. Try to get him down. But yeah, Big tearing him up. So that's why in the song I told y'all, and Long Kiss Goodnight, that's what he said, your swing still slow. That's why he's talking about your swing still slow. When they were slap boxing, Pac was slower than him and he was faster. That's why he said your swing still slow. Analyzing my size and your size and realizing a fist fight would be asinine. Because Pac was like, y'all act like I'm picking on Biggie. I'm this little dude asking this dude 3 times my size and I'm asking him for a fight. And that's why he was like analyzing my size and your size and realizing a fist fight would be asinine. So that's what that meant the whole time. Down at 3 to 9 messed you up for real though. Swing still slow. Ask for remorse, we feel no. Yeah, Big and Pac he used to stay. Remember, Pac told you. Remember, you used to sleep on my couch. I used to beg women he's in Atlanta. Big was in his house in Atlanta. That's where he stayed at. He was sleeping on Tupac couch. That was true. Pac would be begging chicks to sleep with Big. And they would. He told no lie there. Big was like, yeah, that's exactly what happened. He was 370 at the end. He wasn't 370 then. Big was about a good 285, 290. He gained about 70 pounds once he got that his leg broke. And he wasn't doing nothing but sitting around. That's when he was about 3-something, like into the 3s. But besides that, Big wasn't like that at all. We saw Big in 96 after Pac died. And he wasn't that big. And that was in 96, before his accident. I think this is right before, no, this wasn't after. This was right before Pac died. Because that was that summer. Summer of 96. So no, that was summer of 96. Because him and Common did a show. It was bringing back the Dan Ryan hit. So Pac was still alive. Because they booed Biggie. Everybody had became Tupac fans overnight. Now, and it was a lot of people out there booing when Biggie was performing. Oh yeah, and the hotel and all that stuff. I knew they went to my guy to get weed. They had dudes hooked them up, gave them all this weed, and they started mixing it with this goddamn thing. And that's what we in Chicago they found out about chocolate Thai. And it was like, yeah, mix that with some chocolate. It was like, chocolate what? People in Chicago didn't put no hash in there. They didn't smoke like that. They were stunned. What is this? Chocolate Thai? What the hell? Who is that? What's that? Yeah, and that's sad because that's what they wanted to portray, that Big set him up and all that. That's just awful to even try to put that on somebody who ain't, what I'm saying? Big guy for nothing. For nothing. And it's like, man, all these lies was thrown around. Man, to be that, like to go back to Cali and do all this and post up back and forth after 6 months, man, that was crazy. Nobody from the East Coast had nothing to do with that. Like a lot of those guys who was MOB, a lot of those dudes who lost their lives, man, over the wars, most of that had nothing to do, not even with the Crips. They were warring with other bloods. So that's what I'm saying. It's a whole lot of street stuff that was going on. That's real street stuff from Cali. That you gotta just leave that. That had nothing to do with hip hop. No Tupac or Biggie, none of that. When a lot of these dudes was dying, they were warring with, the MOB side was warring with some other bloods. It was bloods versus bloods. Yeah, it was crazy, man. And that's how it is now in the gang world. Back then, they was in the same gang. They try to work that out. Like, hey, wait, he repped the same thing. And you hear now, dude I don't care what he rep. He ain't in my crew. He ain't my set. He ain't my fam. He can go too. I mean, damn. He can go too. Oh, outlaw, you just want to blame Puffy. You just won't let that go. Puffy knew. Puffy did this. Puffy, man, Puffy did a goddamn thing. And he got nothing to do with it. Absolutely zero. Nothing. Ain't no Zip met them there and paid them, gave them the guns. Man, no. Y'all believe Keefy D, who was a super liar, and y'all gonna believe everything he said. He doing this man said Tupac was going for a gun. Anything to try to save himself. Trying to make it look like self-defense. Zip was there, was where? Where he lived? In Vegas? You see, what made Keefy D's story such a lie is the fact that they would have had that on tape if they met where he said they met. And he gave them the guns there. They got security cameras right there. See, even in those day and ages, some places had security cameras. So the place he said that he met and got the guns from was it. That place had a security camera. The $1 million check. What about the $1 million check? Oh, God. The $1 million that came from Jimmy. And let me say, all right, y'all want to tell me that Puffy gave $1 million check to Jimmy. And Jimmy wrote the check over from Black Beat Records. They ain't got nothing to do with Puff. We're going to take Black Beat Records and give this to Zip. And that's going to be the money for the Tupac hit. And you get that over to them guys who did that. It's like, what? Man, they crazy. It's the most craziest thing ever. First off, I mean, y'all don't know no better, but $1 million for a hit? $1 million for a hit. $1 million for the hit. Let that sink in. $1 million. I blame Puffy because they shouldn't have never been at the West Coast 6 months after Tupac. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. They were back. But the thing is, you're right. They shouldn't have been back there 6 months. It was not as cool as they thought it was. Puffy was thinking, and under a false sense of security, that Suge Knight is locked up, so his power is not in his reach, and everything around there, just people in general, they just didn't. They felt a certain way. You know that murder was unsolved. You know, so they under the impression it could be any of them. Y'all could have set him up, and even though y'all going around saying it wasn't us, it wasn't us, it wasn't us, it don't mean that everybody is, buying that. They don't want you there. You not West Coast. Why are you doing this? So it was terrible. Like even now, Puff got extra security for that Halloween bash when he came out last night. No, Puff didn't do that. First of all, Puff wasn't that rich. Okay, let's get that assessed right now. Puff didn't get his money until 97, 98. That's when he really got his money. Where Puffy was, the label was just getting established in 94, 95. So they started selling, they only sold like 2-3 million records. And with Biggie album, Craig Mack went gold. And Mary J had sold some records, but she wasn't even a bad boy artist. They were a young label. Faith Evans started coming up. She sold some records. Junior Mafia and them, they're not on Bad Boy. So that's Undia's, that's Puff's thing. So that's how that went. And I told y'all know I spoke to Mace. So anything around that situation, like me and him had a conversation about a lot of that. So he clarified a lot of things up that was missing. So when Gene was freaking out on me on the video, Carsino, man, why you telling my story, G? I'm like, dog, I'm in the chat. I'm like, my bad. I'll just shut up then. I'll let you go on and cook. Shouts out to Big Gene, too. Like, we ain't got no problems with Big Gene. Like y'all think we do, and a lot of people love to have that friction going back and forth with somebody. No, I'm not cool with Reggie. When he was sick and all that, I'm just like, hey, get well, man. Just go on, get well. That's it. I had nothing to say about the dude. Mob James, I don't know him, know of him. Knew of him back then as being a very serious, anger-tempered man that I definitely wouldn't want to be around. So, who was more gangster than him? I heard more people in fear of Timmy than him. Timmy Rue was the one that a lot of people were more fearful of, because he moves like a real, Ma was older than those dudes. You know what I'm saying? So Timmy was known as that guy. You know what I'm saying? Back then, he was the low riders. Like Timmy was that guy, from what I heard. Like he was like a real, like gangster, like doing it the right way. Mob would just get temperamental and just go off. So it's different situation altogether. But no, I don't want nothing to do with him. Especially when, there's alleged paperwork of you working with them people. Then the dude who did time come home, said, hey, you put me in there? You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I interview him for? That's out. So anyway, thank y'all for listening to me. Hopefully all y'all new people sign up and subscribe. Hit the notification bell when you do subscribe. My Patreon is Carcino for Life. We're going to go into some more details on the Patreon. We can say a lot more. So join the Carcino for Life Patreon so you don't miss anything. And shouts out to Damn DB's Mondo Black TV. Welcome to HDII TV. And we out the dope.